Trump makes huge announcement about this Friday. Nobody saw this coming. Melania Trump announced on Thursday she will be joining her husband on their first foreign trip as President and First Lady. The two are scheduled to fly out Friday on an 8-day journey, making stops in Saudi Arabia, Israel, Rome, Brussels, and Sicily. The trip includes an audience with Pope Francis at the Vatican. "I am very excited for the upcoming trip," Mrs. Trump said in a press release. "This will not just be an opportunity to support my husband as he works on important matters of national security and foreign relations, it will also be my honor to visit and speak with women and children from different countries, with different perspectives." President Trump will be accompanied by his wife throughout each day, but the First Lady will also travel to participate in her own events, including spousal programs at the NATO and G7 summits. She is also expected to deliver remarks to the United States military personnel and families in Italy. The White House isn't releasing a comprehensive itinerary for Mrs. Trump, citing security concerns. President Trump and his wife, who lives in New York, kicked off Mother's Day weekend last Friday, by celebrating military mothers at the White House. She was all smiles as she watched the president address the crowd at the event, which was held on National Military Spouse Appreciation Day. The two were also joined by first daughter Rika. During the event, he praised Melania, saying he had become so popular. The president paid tribute to his wife and the great moms of America before choosing to spend Mother's Day morning playing golf at one of his clubs. "Wishing at Flotus Melania and all of the great mothers out there a wonderful day ahead with family and friends," tweeted Trump, who spent Sunday morning at the Trump National Golf Club, in Sterling, Virginia. Melania had also tweeted a simple "Happy Mother." Happening now: Republicans turning on Trump, look who just called for his impeachment. Democrats have been out to get Donald Trump from the moment he won the election, so it's never a surprise when they start calling for his impeachment. This week, things took a disturbing turn when some Republicans started indicating that Trump should be impeached as well. The Hill reported that Republican lawmakers addressed the possibility of impeaching Trump after reports surfaced that he pressured the now former FBI Director James Comey to end an investigation of former National Security Advisor Michael Flynn. Republicans are being very careful with how they phrase their calls for Trump's impeachment, but the fact that they are even addressing the prospect of impeachment shows how much trouble Trump is really in. Representative Justin Amash, R. Michigan, spoke out to say that if the Comey reports are true, Trump may get impeached. When asked if these actions would merit impeachment, Amash emphatically replied, "Yes," before adding, "but everybody gets a fair trial in this country." When asked if he believes Comey's word over Trump's, Amash responded, "I think it's pretty clear I have more confidence in Director Comey." This came a day after Representative Carlos Curbelo, R. Florida, compared what Trump allegedly did to Comey here to the obstruction of justice cases that led to impeachment proceedings for former presidents Richard Nixon and Bill Clinton. Obstruction of justice in the case of Nixon, in the case of Clinton in the late 90s, has been considered an impeachable offense, Curbelo said. "We find it despicable that these Republicans are now openly calling for Trump's impeachment." Share this story if you still support Donald Trump. He's back. O'Reilly signing with new network to compete with Fox. It's been less than a month since Bill O'Reilly was fired from Fox News after a series of sexual harassment allegations against him came to light. Many said that his career was over, but he's already proving them wrong in a big way. New York Daily News reported that O'Reilly is currently being scouted by various conservative media outlets who hope to create a potent competitor to Fox News. Bill O'Reilly has been nothing short of a powerhouse in cable news. "We have received thousands of requests to add Mr. O'Reilly to our team," said Charles Herring, CEO of San Diego-based One American Network. "I'm sure several national cable news networks have expressed strong interest in Mr. O'Reilly, and One American News is no exception, but we have no further comments at this time." Sources say O'Reilly is also being pursued by Sinclair, a huge right-leaning broadcaster that owns 170 TV stations. including Chicago's superstation WGN. Sinclair struck a $3.9 million deal this month to buy Tribune Media and its 42 stations, and executives are trying to turn WGN into a conservative all-news network to compete with Fox. This will come as amazing news to O'Reilly, who has had a difficult time dealing with what happened at Fox. "I am sad that I am not on television anymore," he said after he was fired. "I was very surprised how it all turned out. I can't say a lot because there's much stuff going on right now, but I can tell you that I am very confident the truth will come out, and when it does, I don't know if you are going to be surprised, but I think you are going to be shaken as I am." IT's official Barron's new DC school has been chosen. You won't believe where it is. Nope, the Trumps aren't going with St. Albans or Sidwell Friends. According to a Mirror source, Barron Trump, 11, plans to attend St. Andrew's Episcopal School in Potomac, MD. It's not a quick jaunt from the White House, but it has its advantages. For one thing, the school stresses diversity. "We value and respect all differences, including but not limited to age, ability, ethnicity, family structure, gender, race, religion, sexual orientation, and socioeconomic status," says the school's diversity statement. To build and sustain a diverse community, the school proactively addresses equity and inclusion in its policies, programs, and practices. "We hold everyone in our school accountable for respecting the multitude of human identities and perspectives and for promoting a safe and supportive school environment." Sponsored links by For Another. St. Andrews would give Barron lots of attention, since the school has only 580 students. The student-teacher ratio is 7:1. Class sizes range from 11 to 15 students. "It has fancy buildings," said a 15-year-old female who attended a summer program at the school. "I phoned St. Andrews. A flustered receptionist sent me straight to the admissions department when I asked about Barron attending the school. No one returned my call. Tuition isn't cheap, it'll run the Trumps $38,590 a year. That price tag jumps to $40,650 for high school. Choosing St. Andrews would be a stark departure from other presidential kids. For instance, Sasha and Melania are Sidwell Friends attendees. Melania graduated last spring and is taking a gap year before she goes to Harvard. The Bush twins, Jenna and Barbara, attended high school in Texas. Chelsea Clinton graduated from Sidwell Friends. Amy Carter went to Stevens Elementary School and Rose Hardy Middle School. Tricia Nixon and her younger sister Julie both attended Sidwell Friends. If Barron completes middle school at St. Andrews, which is 6th to 8th grades, he'll be required to participate in service learning activities. In the 8th grade, students take a 2-day field trip to a church in Washington that runs a soup kitchen. Students listen to a homeless person's life story. They also make, serve, and eat a meal with the homeless. In Trump's second White House term, if there's one, and if Barron finishes up high school there, he'll be expected to complete 20 hours of community service between his 9th and 11th grades and 60 hours in the last 2 weeks of his senior year. A statement of philosophy reads as follows: St. Andrews programs are designed to serve students of varied interests and abilities capable of achievement in a challenging academic environment. To create such an environment, St. Andrews supports a dedicated faculty and administration who respect and appreciate students. They also stress balance and compassion. St. Andrews strives to challenge and support all of its students in a balanced program to nurture their academic, artistic, athletic, and spiritual growth. The school believes that developing each individual's intellect, character, and sense of self-worth encourages each to live a creative and compassionate life. Despite its name, the school is not particularly religious. This phrase in the philosophy statement of St. Andrews is important to our school because of what it does and does not mean. It does not mean that we want to make Episcopalians out of our students. The perspective of the Episcopal Church includes respect for other religious traditions and even for those periods of life when a person is not identified with a particular tradition. We feel little compulsion to defend God or traditional theological expressions. The makeup of the student population is predominantly Episcopal, 16%. But there are other religions present in the student body, including Muslim, 1%, Jewish, 10%, and Roman Catholic, 18%. The school motto sounds rather poetic. It's Auctus Mentis Spiritus, which means the increase of mind and spirit. Just in Donald Trump makes major impeachment announcement. Earlier this morning, we reported that Democrats are stepping up their efforts to impeach President Donald Trump. Now, he is firing back at them in a big way. Daily Mail reported that Trump took to Twitter on Thursday morning to slam the Justice Department's decision to appoint a special counsel to investigate Russian meddling in the 2016 campaign. With all the illegal acts that took place in the Clinton campaign and Obama administration, there was never a special counsel appointed. Trump wrote, later adding, "This is the single greatest witch hunt of a politician in American history." Trump also blasted the decision, which Democrats are already using in their quest for impeachment, in a statement released on Wednesday night. "As I have stated many times, a thorough investigation will confirm what we already know. There was no collusion between my campaign and any foreign entity," Trump said. This came after the Justice Department announced that former FBI Director Robert Mueller, who held the position for a decade and was reappointed by Barack Obama, would serve as special counsel, and would have all appropriate resources to carry out the probe.